All right, I think we are all set. Let's see. Can I make sure that again this thing is on live chat so that way I see everything. I don't have another issue. So you've heard? Yes, I have, Nick. Good to see you in the chat. All right, let's there we go. Ah, I love this theme so much. God. Oh man, it's so good. Lycus is such a good villain too. I guess, yeah, something like that. There we are. All right, perfect. Can I just say how genuinely remarkable it is that the breadth of your knowledge for the chronology of an entire fictional universe and various factions within it so assesses that you're capable of going, actually, to data points with immediate recall for 5.5 hours straight lunacy. Okay, now, let's be fair here, guys. I did make sure I had a notepad open that I was able to, check throughout the stream to be like, okay, so this is the point where we should stop and talk about this and do. There were a few times where actually I ended up stopping a little early because I ended up not letting the point get across, that's unfortunate. Because I did that a little bit in my my original recording too. So I think what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to start setting like limits where, yes, I tell you when the point starts so I can pay attention to what is being said and stuff, but also when it ends, so that way I'm like, okay, this is the pause point at the end. Yeah, I'm gonna have to work on that, I think, for the final recording when I do that. Hey, I am good to see you. But thank you all the same. I'll be honest, 5.5 hours of having mostly doing this off the top of my head with the recall, for sure. I made sure generally my notes were just like, you know, like very short and brief bullet points, or I'd have a quote from the text for my translation of the text off the top of my head to reference. So yeah, it was mostly me doing it unscripted. No physics on this. That's the funny part. There we are. There we are. Anyway, so yes, I have in fact heard the news. We are apparently not getting a BB on PC, but we're getting a BB film now. Didn't clock it on my end. Well, I will admit, I think the only way you would be able to know for certain was probably if you were like paying attention to my mouse and like when I was chasing, like I'm going up and off, checking the times and stuff like that. That's probably the only way you would know. And that's another reason why I don't want to do recording, because I want to clean that type of stuff up so that way you guys can just have the clean, you know, experience, and I could like, you know, edit in some additional images or something if I wanted to show off or what have you. Like I said, there's a lot I would like to do if I did a video, but like I said, I just don't have the time. Like right now, I could be doing that right now, but instead, I'm chilling here in BB because I want to kind of relax as I consider the fact that, yeah, Jacksepticeye is apparently helping produce. Now, I'll be honest, I think this has less potential than the Elden Ring movie to be good, to be honest. I think the problem with BB as a setting is that there's not a whole lot of wiggle room for you to tell your own stories in it. Unless it has nothing to do with Yharnam as a setting, like it takes place in the West, where, you know, all the outside stuff happens. At which point, why the hell are you even making a Bloodborne film, right? The problem, I think, and I've seen this with some of the Bloodborne comics and stuff too, is that they just don't seem to really know what to do to tell a canon story within the existing events, which, again, that's largely brought on by the fact that people don't actually understand these games and what goes on in them, but nonetheless, it is one of those things where I just don't see a lot of opportunity, all factors being considered, for this to be good. I'm gonna tip my hat to Jacksepticeye. He's going for it. I don't doubt his passion for Bloodborne. I remember seeing a little bit of his Demon Souls remake stuff, which he clearly knew nothing about Demon Souls or Demon Souls lore as far as I could tell. His little thing about the royalty was enough to tell me that, which isn't surprising, mind you. So I'm like, I don't know what he knows about BB comparatively speaking, right? But I'm sure he has passion and stuff for it, no doubt. I don't know, man. I don't know if his producer role alone is going to be enough to keep this thing on track. You're getting BB with 24 FPS. Even less FPS than the actual game. Don't worry, guys. Bloodborne will finally be compared favorably with its animated adaptation. I'll be honest, I also was looking at the studio, and it doesn't look like they have a large presence. They're a Western studio, so already that just kind of makes me roll my eyes and want to write this off. Again, call me a weeb. I just don't trust... I don't trust non-Asian studios to give me good animation anymore. From what I've seen. But hey, I am open to being surprised. And I hope that if they pull out all the stops, they will keep Bloodborne maintaining that gravitas and stylishness. The atmosphere is obviously critical for something like this. Speaking of. So yeah, it's still early. It's not like the script is leaked or anything, or that we know the voice cast or something. That's another thing. God, please don't make this into... We brought in all these celebrity voice actors to play all these characters you know and love. It's like, no, just get the actual actors. They're phenomenal. Like, please stop getting some stupid live action has-beens or whatever. I don't care. I know already they can't act. They're just not going to be able to do a voice work. Because that's what happens 90% of the time. I would prefer a Korean studio like what they did with the DMC anime. Yeah, just in general, like, I'm just sorry to say, like, Western animation has been in a terrible spot for a while now. It just has. All the good stuff has been coming out of Asia lately. Yeah, nothing really over here I'd want to grab. God. You know, if it did drive everyone mad, this would be a very pretty sky. But yeah, if it's going to be a story where I guess it has to be about a hunter, because I can't imagine them being able to find any interesting content to mine about any other type of character. So the question would then be, is it going to be like kind of like the comics where it's just going to be like generic stories about like hunters just kind of existing out there in already ruined Yarnum or something like that? Is it going to be like backstory stuff? Because unfortunately, that's another problem with these games, is because these people don't know what's going on. Sometimes they'll try to overcorrect and be like, okay, well, I actually don't understand this story and lore and stuff like that, so I'm going to try to stay as far away from the backstory and the history and stuff as possible, so I don't make any mistakes, and then I piss off everybody because I got the lore wrong or something. And it's like, no, 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 no. We want you to show these events and things that we see talked about or stuff. Just please make it good. And yes, understand the lore first. It's really not that hard. Like, hell, I'll be a consultant for free. I know a bunch of other people who I'm sure would also be happy. Maybe not for free, but they would, I'm sure they would want to pitch in. Like, this isn't difficult. I say the studio who made the Netflix Castlevania is probably the best in the West. I heard the latest season, though, has not been ringing so hot. There we go. I don't know how true that is. That's definitely been something that I've heard. Kind of fell off. There we go. Oh. Damn. Yeah, I know. It's always my fault, chat. Really? He's still alive, huh? Listen, you don't have to be honest like that. At least try to sugarcoat it. The writing for it was bad, but it does have amazing animation. Good to know. Woo! He will be in the Bloodborne movie. Trust. You guys just see the credits for my credits for me in the end. They'll just be passing through, and it'll be say special thanks to Loki for lore consultation. You guys be like, oh my god, Loki worked on the film. I'm like, I worked on the film. Honestly, I prefer that. I prefer if they'd be just like, yes, they read everything on my website. I prefer if they, like, you know, if they did that they'd also email me so I could, like, tell them for some of the stuff that's not yet published on my website, BB related. But you know what? If they just literally just had someone who went through all the content on the website, I would be thankful. Woo! Meanie. Mean man. This is why your mama left you. Away! 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 No. There we go. I love nothing more than impaling crows. Stop this poor man. He's already suffered enough. If the animation studio bought out their parent company, I mean, I guess that at least tells you that they have some independence now. It still doesn't change the fact they don't seem to have much experience, and I don't know, like, any of their stuff they come out with, except it looks like I think they're doing, like, something else from soft related, recently, or something, or video game related, at least. I forgot what it was when I was looking over the filmography. So yeah, I mean, I guess maybe they're just really passionate about this and they'll make it work. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, chat. Average evening in yeah, Birmingham. Birmingham. There we go. And down. God, I miss doing this. Demon Souls. Demon Souls has the worst ladder climb animations. And to think, their code is so goddamn jank just to even get that working. Like, I can imagine how happy they were. They were like, look guys, in Dark Souls 1, we finally added a rushing down the ladder and speed up along the ladder animation. That's always been weird to me how slow that is. For every game except Dark Souls 2. Like, Dark Souls 2 is the only one that thought of, hey, let's have a sprint bar thing that lets you speed up on the ladder. Like, all the others, they're just like, you will go slightly faster when you hold down sprint. It will barely make a difference. Huh, wait, am I crazy? I could have swore there was another ladder around here. There's a ladder. There we go. There's a ladder around here. Oh, before I forget, chat. Yeah, okay, it is on loop. I should probably figure that out because I'm pretty sure it's been more than the time that the OST is there. But silly me, I did not check. Oh. Yeah, boy. Ow. Ow! Chad, I got shot. It's just an average day in Detroit. Damn. As a true American, I'm overloaded on bullets. There we go. Damn. Anyway, so, like, It's animated. I don't even know if it's going to be 2D or 3D based on what films I were looking at. Either way, like I said, I just hope they capture the style. Woo. Uh-huh. There we go. I mean, unfortunately, do we have like any, like, as far as I'm aware, we have no confirmation of the scriptwriter, of the director. Like, we just know nothing about what's going on there. So we have no idea if they're outsourcing to like other people or if they're going to use internal guys at the studio. Like, we just don't know what's happening. Here are the acquisitions, nothing to do with the studio behind the film. That's just my reason as to why we're getting so many. Ah, I see. We also got the Sekiro one, right? I guess we'll see how that one turns out. It is interesting, though, that so many From Software stuff especially has been getting greenlit, though. I wonder if that's part of Miyazaki's plans for expansion. Or if there's something else afoot. Because obviously... Oh, too early. Ow. Ow! I can do this, chat. I can parry. I remembered how to shoot my gun. No, I didn't. Oh. I feel cheated. Really? Okay. There we go. Just like I remembered. There we go. I think one of the good things that we could do with this film, if they do actually try to tackle some backstory stuff, is it would be interesting to see somewhat less action-y, more kind of thriller mystery side on the Beast Scourge and everything, where, like, obviously if you're a fan, you already kind of know some of the twists and stuff like that, but you can kind of just enjoy, like, kind of seeing, like, the characters and stuff in the animation. But if you're, like, you're someone who, say, has an experience with the game or something, you might actually be like, oh, what's going on with the whole, everyone's turning into beasts and stuff like that, and, like, this like, healing church thing, what they're going on, and these hunters of the church, and all, like, there could be some cool stuff happening there. I'm just worried we're gonna see some dumb shit, like, oh, and then we're gonna see Ludwig transform into his nightmare beast form or something. It's gonna be like, no! You screwed it up! You know, something like that. That would be my biggest fear. I don't want to see that at all. But if they're gonna just play it safe and they're just gonna be like, ah, it's just a hunter, and look, Yarnum's already basically done for, and the hunter's just going to go around meeting complete nobodies, and they're like gonna turn into beasts and stuff. Yeah. Like, I don't know, man. Like, hell, I'll even take a story about, like, the School of Mensis and the choir or something. All right, over here. Wait. There we go. There we go. Ooh! Almost died there. Huh. Ow! Ow! Hmm. Oh. Our friends. Our friends. There we go. Oh god, imagine if this thing makes it in the film. This thing makes in the film. Oh boy. I better see it munching on some girlies. Oh, that's actually, I never noticed that one before. Got the little holy woman again, not just on the bridge, but on this little pillar in the bridge. Oh. Oh no, doggo, please, please, please do not cause an incident with this controller. I beg you. I'm begging here. Guys, look, it's our favorite. Our favorite Church of the Good Chalice. Right there in arm's reach. Boo. There we go. One blood vial for you, another blood vial for you. Wait, there's still a guy up there? I think that's Yahar. God, I'm forgetting. Is that Yahar Ghul over there, or? Yeah, I think it is. So there's no Yahar. Yeah, Yahar Ghul's over that way for sure. I think maybe they just don't have it loaded in then. 'Cause I don't remember the trees. Might be misremembering. That side story devastated me on my first playthrough. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. It's pretty brutal. Yeah, this is just hilarious to me. Like, you could theoretically see Bloodstarved Beast from here. If this was realistic. It isn't, of course. Like... like the entire church. The archway covers the entire church front. Like, it's so absurd. Like, that balcony there alone is, like, brushing up hard against it. Like, none of that makes sense. Oh. Chat, the doggo wants love. I can only play one-handed now. Oh. Oh. Well, well, well. Yeah, and then this. Like, it just doesn't work. That's another fun thing, is to think of how the film is gonna, let's assume that the film is gonna just be, like, at the very least an adaptation of, like, you know, Yharnam and the general city, and that's gonna be the main focus of the setting and stuff. Maybe they'll do some Chalice Dungeon thing, but mainly it'll take place in Yharnam. I'm kind of curious what they're going to do. Like, are they going to do wide establishing shots that are really going to give us a sense of the scale of Yharnam and things like that? Like, some of the stuff, obviously there are inconsistencies between areas and how they tried to depict what is where and stuff. Like, obviously we have, like, our missing I think it's over there, right? That's where our missing bridge is. No, I think maybe it's over here. No, because this takes us all the way to... Yeah, okay. I'm pretty sure it's over here-ish, right? Where we have the other bridge. No, because... Yeah, it is over here, because... Yeah, so it's just not present here, I think. So maybe it's supposed to be that, but I think it's supposed to be around here-ish. Because that's where the shortcut door is, and then you have the few church giants and stuff. So around here is, like, the giant broken secondary bridge, which I guess... for some reason exists and gets across, but doesn't, like, accomplish or do anything, right? Also, our favor, just random messengers just kind of sticking out here. I love my random messengers. Boop, boop. Yeah, I'm not expecting anything magical to come out of this film, but man, do I hope it ends up being really good. Because can you imagine if we get like, again, let's put aside and say like, you know, it's not gonna be perfect artistically or something like that. If they get like a really solid like story that can slot into the existing canon, or it's like a good adaptation of like canon events or something like that, that would just be nice. And if it's like well animated and just looks good, it's supposed to be R-rated, right? Which means there should be no limitations on at least showing blood and I guess language, though Bloodborne's not really heavy on the language to my memory. Like I guess if you want to get really graphic, you could also show some of the ladies of the night or something. You know, doing their occupation, their services. Oh no. There we are. That would be cool to see them, would be cool to see some of these areas like cleaned up, like if they weren't in ruins and stuff. Yeah, like all I want ultimately is a good film, right? So if they can accomplish that, good on them. It doesn't need to be perfect, it just needs to be good. Oh, that's so funny. Remember, guys, Bloodborne is a perfect game with no flaws in it whatsoever. Ignore the giant floating gate with the random-ass bridge blocking everything. Alright, so here's my question. Where's Odin Chapel's tower in all this? Because can't you see it from the bridge? Yeah, I think that's supposed to be the chapel, right? Yeah, that's that should be the chapel. But it would have been cool to see Bloodborne get the Blue Point remake treatment, just to see how they would handle more visible interconnected areas that wouldn't be like Demon Souls, where like they're separate zones and stuff like that, right? So you could probably cheat and get away with a lot more. Unless you had to somehow make it all interconnected and at least look cohesive while you're traveling through, especially because they added the free camp stuff. Yeah, so that should be Odin. That should be Odin Chapel. So yeah, they do show it there at least. It's just all the stuff around it is just kind of ridiculous. Make no sense. A little better than that, than Part After Gascoigne, where if you look down, it's just void. I mean, this is literally the same. I think I know exactly what you mean. It's the same area they got. Woo. But yeah, if you go up there, it's obviously just a little different. Uh oh, wait a second, chat. Sorry, chat. One sec. Just trying to get the dog to cooperate. It's your bed. It's your bed, doggo. Just lay in it. Go to bed. What are you? Like, what are you doing? I don't understand this dog sometimes. There we go. Gonna go all the way up here. Ah, my favorite little library. Beautiful. Perfect. Well, wait, I have to visit it. Where's my favorite error? Ah, there you are. There you are, my favorite. My favorite little boy. I love you. I love you, my little misaligned statue inside of another statue pedestal. Ah, it's beautiful. Wait, where's the one with the candle that's in? Oh no, the candle's up here still. Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful, chat. You gotta love it. There we are. No, but this is theoretically the same area we were looking at before. And yeah, we got like dead void. Random ass low poly models still though. Random buildings in the way that obviously couldn't be there. We can't, the gate actually has something connecting to it. And this is the thing I don't get. Like, what was From Software thinking? Like, why not just do a low poly thing here? I can only assume because it must have been so late in development that when they were finally connecting some of these areas together that they were like, oh god. Like, we just don't have time to try to make low poly and everything kind of work out or whatever. That's the only thing I can think of to justify some of this. It's like, it's not like it's adding to the skyline or anything, you know? Like, you take away some of these buildings, like what's it doing? Actually, these buildings back here, these are probably helping hide probably some of the covered stuff regarding the courtyard area, so that's probably it. Oh, another thing they could do is maybe the burning of Old Yarnum, the Old Yarnum incident, that could be something. 'Cause that's like a big event. The problem is there's so much going on in that period that I'd be worried they would screw it up. Like, it's very easy, very, very easy to screw it up. So that'd probably be my fear. Yeah. One of these days I'll get the high insight required to see these stupid messengers here. I've never actually gotten a shot of them doing that, so sometime maybe I will. I'll be like, no! All my insight! Oh, them did not dodge that one. There we go. Actually, no, never mind. These buildings really don't do much of anything because we're a little over here, not over there. Yeah, these buildings don't cover that much. You still have these buildings back here. So you really don't need the extra ones over here. Beautiful. I saw a bit showing concept art and stuff that they use for like the website or whatever. I love the little text they had here. It was like something like "Faithful hath been our strongest," or our war or something that just felt like obviously like Englishy. Just very, very neat overall. I'm trying to see if there's the Canehurst. Because I recognize the coat of arms poses, but I can't tell Yeah, I think it's too dark for me to tell. Is it on the reverse side? Kind of? No, yeah, I think it is. Yeah, I can't tell. I can't tell. That's Kaner sponsored, though. That little symbol there. There we are. Why are you still trying to grab stuff? I'm not even there. Like, what is up with you? From software. From software. I know you've done crows before. Like, you did them in Demon Souls. You cannot tell me you don't have some stock crow animations you could have just thrown on these things. Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? There's just so much clipping and shit when you look closely at this game. Well, somebody ain't getting out from their house. There we go, this way. Yeah, I know, you're trying to sleep. You can't really see the bridge, unfortunate. There we go. I feel like that might be a stock image. Oh, 1 second, chat, the dog. I swear, chat, she wants to go everywhere, every place, at every moment. God forbid you restrict her for 5 seconds. She is such a freaking diva. How did I end up adopting a diva? Yeah, this ain't helping me either. God, I love some of these designs, though. They're so cool. This is another game I'd love to have free cam for. I would have so much fun with a free cam. I'll answer in advance for you, Nick. I have no idea. I'm sorry to say, or maybe I'm grateful to say. I don't know. I don't know most of those names. I'll be honest, I hear whenever I hear about drama and stuff, it's usually like, or some drama history or something. It's like, oh, like this thing with this character or this person was really big, and now there's some big drama or whatever. It's usually like something where it's like TikTok related, where like, oh, you know, they did like lots of crazy, stupid, cringe shit on TikTok or whatever. I'm like, is TikTok just the new Tumblr or something like that? Like it's like the new Tumblr and MySpace and crap, where like just all the cringe stuff happens on there. And it's like everyone's like sordid history or something now. Because it really does kind of feel like I avoided all that crap, and because I just didn't have a TikTok or something like that. There we are. There we go. You know how this was gonna go. I forgot about you, I'll be honest. It's been so long since I've come from the front. Wait, what? There we go. There we go. There's the area we were at before. Honestly, it's the wooden makeshift ladders that I really love as a little attention to detail there. They could have just like used metal ones or whatever, but they're like, nah. We're trying to really get this story idea across. Oh, you assume that they're people, not just shitty memes? I mean, listen, I've seen some really weird ass usernames and handles in my time. So at this point, when I see anything that looks vaguely like it could be someone's name, I'm gonna assume it's someone's name, usually by default. Though yes, I also seem to avoid. I seem to also just stay out of all the meme stuff. Just in general, I'm just not the type to go scrolling around for things. Like, most I do is when there's like fan art or something. I have my ARC Twitter, not using the new name, just for that type of stuff where it's like, oh, this is nice. Because I like looking at beautiful things sometimes, you know, just a nice way to detox my brain. But like outside of that, like I don't like to go like drama surfing or whatever they call it. Hey Loki, what do you think about them calling it an animated film? I think great. And I'll be honest, I prefer an animated film over a live action film. For any of From Software's works, to be honest. I just generally I have a bias for animation. I don't like that it's a Western animated studio that I know nothing about, because that gives me a lot of reason to be nervous that it's going to be really crappy quality or look cheap or something, right? We already had incidents with Sekiro stuff, which, hey, at least with the latest trailers, the frame rate doesn't look like I'm about to like kill myself, so like that's nice. My only problem, though, is like I still feel like the Sekiro style doesn't come across well in this new animated film. So I forget what they're doing with Sekiro. But hey, you know, that's for the actual players and fans to decide whether they like it or not. You know, me as an outsider, for the most part, not really my place to judge. But when But if I had to choose, like, would I rather them try to do, like, a cheap live-action film that's obviously not going to get the budget for portraying all this stuff, or animation where you can rather, again, relatively low budget, be able to portray anything you want, for the most part? Yeah, I'll take animation. I just hope it's good. I just hope it's going to not look cheap and bad and, like, you know, just generally look like this was a terrible mistake. It should never have been considered. There we go. At first I thought of anime, but they would have said that. I wonder about what art style they'll go with. Yeah, they've already confirmed it's a Western style film. But, like, in terms of style, here's all I want. I want that whatever style they're going to do, they're not going to make it look really bland and flat. They're going to make sure, like a lot of Western animation can end up being, I want them to be able to preserve the atmosphere and ambiance of it. I'm not asking you to make it like super detailed or whatever, but it needs to look gritty, lived in, kind of like old style, you know, was it called cell shading? I don't think. God, my brain digital art has completely poisoned it. But like, you know, very, you know, old style, you know, kind of have that little gritty roughness to it. Something like that would be ideal if they could somehow reproduce some of that, you know, kind of give it that old film grain almost. And like I said, if they're going to use digital effects and stuff to help them, like obviously you need to make sure you get the stuff like the fog, right? Make sure you get that beautiful skyboxes and sheens. Like stuff needs to be lit just the right way so like it's dark but not too like there's a lot of things that they need to do to help make it where it's like, okay, this is going to add too much on the animators where they have to like draw like super detailed models or things for every single frame, but we do want them to be able to look at this and think like, oh god, yeah, like this looks moody, you know. Have you ever sunk hours into a classic game and wondered why you never discovered it sooner? Yeah, I have. There's definitely been a few that's happened with me too, where I'm just like, wow, like I recommended just the other day Paranormal Site. I didn't know about that game when it first came out, and I only figured about it like a bit later. I was like, oh wow, this is really good. But then like for something that's like a really classic, like oh, what's it called? God damn, my brain is blanking out. Was it Xenogears? I don't know. That doesn't sound right in my head. No, Chrono Trigger. That's what it was. Yeah, that one I was late on. Dot Hack I was a bit late on. It was a little till some of the later games that I ended up going back and finding the original stuff. I'm really excited for the new one, by the way. I'm so excited for the new Dot Hack. Yeah, that atmosphere needs to be good. Yeah, that's again for visually when it comes to an animated film or whatever they're doing, it needs to look at least decent quality for me on that front. As for like story wise, like I said before, I think it would be a cop out if they just try to tell, oh, generic hunter man in generic hunter post Yarnum ruin time period where everything's already kind of shit, like basically like a parallel story with our journey happening on this night. I think that'd be a very boring cop out. It also doesn't really lead for much in terms of narrative room or weight. I'm always a supporter of adapting actually the past events and stuff mentioned in the lore. There's lots of narrative potential to tell stories about people who are living within the larger world and the events, and you can cross over with some of the big characters like Ludwig or Lawrence or something without necessarily focusing too heavily on them and their fates, right? Like you could almost make them almost like incidental characters in the story you want to tell. Hey girl. Oh, those weirdos that think Chrono Cross is better than Chrono Trigger. That's another one I actually have zero experience with, so I'd actually be okay with trying that one out and seeing for myself. There we go. I felt that way also about Vanillaware stuff. It wasn't until 13 Sentinels that I discovered Vanillaware, and then I went back to some of their stuff like Odin Sphere and things like that. I'm just like, holy hell. Like, where has this beautiful studio been my entire life? Like, their stuff is just phenomenal. But yeah, I think just in general, there's a lot of like if people understood the lore and they understood the story and they understood the narrative and the characters and the beats and what's going on and why certain events happen at what point and when and where and within some general time frames of what we're dealing with, like if people just understood these games stories and stuff, I would love to see them actually adapt those histories and lore and things, or weave a story within that stuff, because there's so much there. Like I'll even take like I said, School of Menses versus Choir, like a story within that general era leading up to the events of this game. Sure, I'll take it. Like something like just actually that feels like we're like fans are getting service because they get to see some of the stuff that is read about or talked about or whatever getting actually depicted and depicted properly and well and with you know proper gravitas and everything. Like it doesn't feel like it's just like weird fanfic-y, like wishy-washy. See, and now we got Ludwig and he's turning into Nightmare Beast. It's like, no, you got it while you didn't understand it. That type of thing. But I'll be honest, I have zero faith. So if they do that, I'm ready for it to be like the Age of Fire comics, right? Again, I appreciate when people do the attempt, but it's like, man, if you don't understand it and you're not trying to even understand it, like, why bother, man? Like, sure, whatever. Garl Vinland is there investigating the Chaos Demons in Izalith. Sure, whatever. I'll take it. All right, they all die. I forgot they're all dead. No longer heading out. Man, that looks terribly bare. Not my Yahar Ghul. I love Jothe Ephraim's blessing for this. I assume they probably gave Miyazaki a call and let him know it's happening. I imagine. I doubt that Miyazaki, though, has much say in whether or not this gets made or not, because Sony owns the Bloodborne IP, I'm pretty sure, so... If there's true... here's the other thing. If From didn't for this film, there's no way in hell that From is responsible for rejecting Bloodborne remaster, then. I know it's been talked about in the rumor mills or stuff. I'll be honest, I'm a little sus. That sounds like the thing you tell people as the soft, polite way of saying no to something that you're not approving. You're like, you know, we really would love to do your project, you know, Joseph or whatever. But you see, like, you know, it's really Miyazaki from Software. Like, we don't want to do this without their approval and stuff. And they're the ones who keep saying no to your ideas. There we go. But we'll see. We will see. Yeah, you must live. I know. You're worried about yourself. Who is it? Am I crazy? I feel like I'm crazy, chat. There it is. Okay, I'm like, there's a way back up here. Yeah, I'm incredibly skeptical by when those reports and stuff were coming out, because it really does sound like it just doesn't pass the sniff test for me. I could be wrong. I'm a fallible person, but like, I don't know. It didn't sound right to me. As for this, I don't feel like they would ask From Software over it. It just doesn't seem like that type of project that unless the idea would be to ask if Miyazaki wanted a role in narrative production or something at all. Like he wanted to take some sort of like guidance role. That's the only place I could think of where Sony might do it if they want to bring him in for marketing and stuff. Like it's like, you see, when he did Taka Miyazaki consult, or you know, that type of thing. Kind of like what they do with Martin and like anything that's tangentially related to his works. There we are. Uh-huh. There we go. Yeah, I'm sure you're a cursed beast. Yeah, we're all cursed. This town's finished, yada, yada, yada. Uh-huh. Is that you, buddy? Oh, it's just you. Okay. Man, I didn't realize how drippy that effect makes him. There we go. There we are, perfect. Now 1 second. Ah! Oh my. You piece of shit. Guys, I'm trying to have a nice centered shot of good old Flora. Can I please have my Flora shot? Thank you. Get that ugly ass cloud out of the way, my girl. She's the most beautiful star you've ever seen, chat. The absolute most beautiful. Yeah, we know. Howdy, Xavier. Good to see you. Anyway, so best case scenario, again, like my ideal film would probably be something that would tell a provocative, interesting story that will depict events as they took place in the history of Yharnam, dealing with like the healing church or something to that effect, right? Explore the mystery of the beast scourge and stuff, where like obviously for longtime fans they'll already know all the twists and turns and stuff, not like they're really much of a spoilers to the game either, but like they could be interesting little hooks for people who haven't played the games, who are just kind of interested in the gothic setting, right? Probably you want to have a twist somewhere down the line that'll begin touching upon some of the eldritch stuff, or at least kind of hint at it, right? Like try to maybe kind of like the game, start like revealing some of the crazy, more Lovecraftian statues, things, and then maybe a little bit of touch of like an amygdala or what have you there. Again, depends on the period and stuff we'd want to handle this in. But like you could get some really good, stuff out of it. Yes, I see you, girly pop. Get out of my life. There we go. More optimistic for Elden Ring movie than the Bloodborne one? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So yeah, like that would be like my best case scenario, but worst case scenario, this is just gonna be like Bloodborne comic slop. Generic Hunter in generic post-ruined Yharnam. Doing generic post-ruined Yharnam things, I guess. With like people and be like, oh no! They're turning into beasts, whatever will we do? Oh, boo-hoo! I hate turning into beasts. Come on, I know you want to do it. There you go. I will say it is nice to go back to Bloodborne and be able to spam the goddamn button and not have to worry about something like appearing, you know? Yeah, that one's good. That one works. Oh yes, I'm surprised. Maximum Darkness, Yarnum, isn't that bad. Yahar Ghul, at least. You just know they're gonna have spider patches say some blood boiling cringy quit. Oh my god, please don't include spider patches. I don't need spider patch. Like, okay, maybe give them like a cameo because everyone's gonna be like, oh my god, it's patches. But like, it needs to be like a really minor role. It needs to be something like saved closer to the end, maybe even post-credit scene. Like, you know, something where like I don't want him to quote unquote steal the show. That's probably what it'll be. Just depends on the quality. Listen, there's no hope for quality if it's that type of schlop. It's not gonna. It's just gonna be like, okay, we just wasted all our time and budget on absolutely nothing of like note. That's the problem. Is that there's potential for greatness that really adds to the Bloodborne IP, and then there's this potential to basically just kind of waste the brand. Like I said, we already have that kind of being impacted with Night Rain. I think the fact that Night Rain turned out to actually be really good in and of itself has kind of mitigated that type of damage, but it still devalued a lot of the Dark Souls kind of as a brand, where it's like, you know, we just like kind of throwing them together and stuff. It's like, you know, just, hey, we're just having the bosses. They're the marketing gimmick. And now if we end up doing that with Bloodborne, that's gonna be like, I will never forgive you. I'll never forgive you, Sony. There we go. The whole movie will just be Bloodborne from Spider Patch's perspective. That would unironically be better than probably what we're gonna get. Unironically, it's just like, okay, what is Spidey Patches see? What was he doing while we were waking up in the infirmary? Oh, there he goes. He's dead. Wow, that's funny how they make him disappear. I guess they all disappear like that, huh? Kind of lame. Not even like exploding in blood or something, or dripping up down and apart or whatever. Oh God, our favorite. Our favorite. The woman of Yharnam. Man, the blood even brought back the freaking fire bombs, man. It's crazy what the power of blood can do. It's still funny to me because, like, why the hell does this even exist? Like, what's the point? Especially when there's this doorway right here. There we are. I'm gonna trust Jacksepticeye respects BB enough to not do something like that, Nick, but we don't know. We have no idea, because he's just a producer. Who knows how much sway he's really gonna have, if there's anyone else in the production committee there. Like, again, who's gonna be directing, who's gonna be script writing, like, who's gonna be acting and voicing in it, like... Again, there's so many failure points for this thing. Where it could turn into, like, the worst thing imaginable. And here I am, just gotta kind of be hoping it doesn't. Oh. Ah! Yeah, something we can work with here. Fuck. Hey, girly. You come here often? I guess that's a no. Is Miyazaki involved at all? As far as we're aware, so far, no. There's been no mention. And let's be honest, if Miyazaki was heavily involved in this, they would be shouting it from high heavens right off the bat. So I don't think there's any hope there on that front. I think they're just winging this one. Make it that way you will, but I don't think he's got a role to play in this. Play on PS3? No. This game didn't even come out on PS3. It was PS4, right? So I'm playing on PS5, but it's technically the PS4 version, I'm pretty sure. If I recall it correctly. There we go. All right. I love native cultures, chat. I love playing with the locals. Insides. There we go. Oh, you respawned? I guess I should have seen that coming. Does it have nice load times on PS5 SSD? Yeah, that's one of the nice thing about PlayStation 5, that SSD fast loading shit. No. All right. Let's go see Tweedle's D Dumb and Dumber. Oh, they're not here. Oh, they're out there, aren't they? Does the frame rate go up? I don't think so. I'm pretty sure this is still 30 FPS. It doesn't feel like 60 at least. I'm pretty sure it's locked in the PS4 hardware specs. Stop throwing flames at me. Lore on the bell ringing woman, like who are they aligned with? They are supposed to be clergy women of Yahar Ghul. So the general idea seems to be that I don't actually, do I have a timeline for this to illustrate? I'm pretty sure I don't, but just to double check. If not, I should consider making one for the future, because this is actually useful little site. No, I only have the Healing Church timeline. No, I do not have the. I do not have any. Oh wait, oopsie. Close. I don't want to open Demon Souls. Okay. All right, there we go. Anyway, so as I was saying, so in the context of those we encounter in Yahar Ghul, they're supposed to be Yahar Ghul clergy women, which similar to the abductors, who are supposed to be kind of the clergymen. The idea being that when Yharnam first started interacting with the outside world after it was established as a Tumerian colony, those who wanted to kind of keep to the old ways and stuff became kind of this cloistered traditionalist sect, whereas those who mixed with the foreigners, I know Yharnam mixing with outsiders, disgusting, would end up becoming the Yharnam we know, with some of its perverted traditions and memories of like things related to the gods and stuff like that are a lot more in line with like sort of the religion outside of this setting, right? You know, a lot more classical, grounded, quote unquote, you know, Christian, vaguely coded type religious traditions and stuff, whereas obviously over here it's much more openly about the great ones and the true forms of the great ones, and you know, the idea that you're not just looking up at the stars for God or something like that and all that jazz, right? Part of that also seems to be preserving some of the Tumerian blood, so you see a bit more of the blue pale skin, though they don't have the dark sunken eyes, right? Now, this is different from when we consider these Bellringer women in the dungeons, which, while they don't have the black sunken eyes, they're still considered explicitly Tumerian mad women. And just in general, they seem to just kind of behave as kind of like holy women in that culture and stuff like that, right? But those we see outside of the Chalice dungeons, those who are going around helping with invasions, those who are, of course, assisting in the rituals at Yahar Ghul, these just seem to be examples of the clergy who serve, who are supposed to be serving the city, but really they're looking out for their own interests, and that mainly looking to revive some of their powers and traditions by teaming up with the School of Mensis. And there we go. Oh wow, only one of the corpses appears from up here. They don't show all three. I can see it. There's my little Mikolash tower. My favorite little Mikolash tower. Oh, my Mikolash. Hey, buddy. Man, you look disgusting. Really? You're looking down on me when I go through that hallway? I'll have to keep that in mind. Feels a bit more steady on 30 FPS, but that could just be my imagination. Oh, it's... Obviously, the game was designed with 30 FPS in mind and stuff like that. Like, that was what they were kind of, like, settling to try to keep. I still... And again, I'm not someone who's like obsessed with FPS. Like, I'm not like, oh my god, I'm playing it on 30 or whatever. But I would like to try out playing the 60 FPS just so I can see the difference. Because I've seen it before with other games. It's just like, oh my god, like wow, like it's crazy. So I'm kind of curious how I'd feel in this one. If it's really going to be something like, oh my god, it feels so much easier to dodge shit or something like that, you know? Like, enemies look like they're going so slow. Cool, so they're with Mensis, but kind of like a Tumerian sect. Makes sense. Yeah, the best way to think about it is like Yahar Ghul is like the part of Yharnam that basically stayed completely cloistered and shut off from virtually everybody, though they were also slowly starting to change, and it ends up just being like the clergy who kind of still preserve any of the old ways or old appearances, right? You know, they're the only ones that keeping a bit of their Tumerianness, right? But ultimately, they need to reach out with the outsiders and team up for the purposes of trying to, what's the word? Revive their culture as a way, right? Like, you know, even for them, it's starting to slip away. And we can see this with how, like, say, the buildings over here. You can see how one of these ritual buildings, which they use for the teleportation stuff around here, yeah, we know how you work. There we go. Let's go over there first. Yeah, I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing. Ah. Oh, no, I do have to go up. I forgot. Yeah, we have to go through the... that's gonna be a pain, but... Stop shooting body parts at me. Ooh, I did not need a corpse being shot straight through my gut. Holy hell, stop shooting corpses at me. I swear, they're so rude, chat. Come on, I'm trying to show something off, friend. Well, that would have been a cool shot if I actually, that would have been a cool shot if I actually could grab that. 1 second, I have to kill a Mensis experiment. Oh. Oh, come on. All right, got that done. Yeah, so again, you got like the teleportation, ritual bowl, chamber stuff here, right? Yeah, I know. But you can see how these little platforms where they could like teleport in, give sermons and stuff to the masses and things like that. You know, kind of using these as, I forget what they're called. You also see one in Hemwick, but it's like these little bridge things where like, you know, the pastor or whatever gets up and they can, standing from above, can like talk down to the people or whatever. You can see how this building, how the tower is starting to get crooked and collapse. It's becoming the Leaning Tower. It's all in ruins. It's falling apart and dilapidated. You can see that for the rest of this, this facility, structure over here. See a little bit more for this part of the facility. Oh, they don't show, they don't show that there. But anyway, point is like, you know, the ruin and stuff here for more of it. All of it kind of connected. Kind of giving the sense that, you know, the time has come. Ow! Well. Welp. That happened. We're gonna go the other way. There we go. Yeah, there's always little details and stuff that are easy to miss in these games. Oh. No, it's up here, right? No, I'm crazy. Okay, here it is. Avon Plaza. All right, we got 600,000 blood echoes on launch. Let's see if we can do this. The answer is no. All right, over here. But yeah, is this the type of stuff that I would expect to be covered in a Bloodborne film? I mean, it could theoretically be stuff that could be covered in a Bloodborne film, but do I expect it to be? No, unfortunately. Again, there's a lot of cool little historical stuff you can derive. Just overall cool setting. Unless I'm randomly gonna get an email for consultation services, I don't know, Chad. I don't think. I'm just inherently skeptical we're gonna get anything good. But I'm hopeful. I really want this to be good. I want From Software to have awesome multimedia stuff. Ankle twisted. I wish it was just a twisting of my ankle. No, that's not gonna work. You stupid. Never experiment on a corpse, chat. It always leads to this shit. It always leads to clipping through walls. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, they don't even load it from up here. That's so funny. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You almost hit me. Oh my god. Man, chat, all those dead bodies. All those dead bodies. Stop it! Stop it! Like you're gonna run out of bodies in yourself or something. Like eventually there's gotta be enough bones and eventually there's gotta be enough bones and flesh lost, right? Ah! There we are. Uh-huh. All right, let's go for my 600k. You can see all the Mensis experimental stuff they do in these chambers, these buildings, these clerical facilities. Wait, did I pass my echoes at some point? Like, where are they? Oh, they're there. There we go. There's where we came in from, chat. All the way over there. Are you proud of me? We've come so far, zigzagging across the street. I'm worried they're going to make a medieval Resident Evil movie and not focus at all on Bergenworth, Lawrence, the Chalice Dungeons, or anything of substance. I'll be honest, I'm worried they might go in the other direction too hard and they might be focusing too much on the Eldritch crap. I could easily see it where they lean a bit too hard into it and it just becomes really ridiculous and kind of silly and overdone and kind of loses any of the feel. Because that's I think the pull that I think well I say the temptation when you are like a fan of something and you're passionate, right? And you're like, oh no yeah put in all the Eldritch stuff. Like that was so cool when like everything was discovered that it was all like weird tentacle monsters and Lovecraft shit and all that stuff. And it's like you said, like the lack of substance there. Hey, buddy. Stop shooting pieces of yourself at me. It's not good for your health. See, what did I tell them? They don't listen to me, Chad. That's the problem. They just listen to me. But yeah, like I said, if we're just gonna get generic hunter schlop and post-ruin yarn, I'm going around hunting with like pointless stuff with beasties, and then eldritch abominations are just there for whatever reason. Like, ooh, okay, whatever. Like this was such a waste of time and money. Like I said, I want something. I want a good I want a good Bloodborne. Obviously, I just want a good story, right? Like, ultimately, a good Bloodborne movie is just telling a good movie, right? In the Bloodborne setting specifically, though. And it's like, there's so much narrative potential, but it's so limited within a certain scope of, like, the good, interesting stuff you could really tell. Or retaining some of the, like, you know, iconic features and things, like, you know, the hunting uniforms and stuff and the weapons and all that. There's so much potential there, and I just don't know. I just don't know if they'll let us actually explore it, you know? Come on, take us there. Take us there. Yeah, nothing here. Oh, that's just disgusting. That's just disgusting. I was looking for you guys on the ceiling, you know? Honestly, may have been better as a miniseries instead of a movie, since there's so many different narratives to explore. Yeah, this is true. A lot of the From Software stuff could definitely be better if you kind of make it a bunch of little, like, novella type things, instead of trying to make it like one larger narrative that's probably going to be about generic guy. That's another fear with the Elden Ring film. I think they have more potential, narrative potential, with what they're probably going to do, which is tell a story about the Tarnished in the post-Shattering setting of one of those Tarnished heroes during the big Round Table era we don't get to meet and stuff, with a few like cameos of like maybe Morgoth or something. But I do feel like that's another thing where it's like, man, you get told like so many more compelling stories, and that was just one of like many in like a little mini novella thing, and just keep it simple. Stop trying to throw acid on me with your beakers. Oh. Unfortunately, they reached the whole way. There we go. The Albinaurics. Yeah, an Albinauric little mini episode. Well, in a day in the life of the Albinauric. Morning, I get beaten by my master. Midday, I get beaten by my master. Evening, I go to bed after another beating from my master. All is right in the world then. The name's Bloodborne. John Bloodborne. That would be so stupid. I don't think they're that retarded. I don't think anyone would be that retarded. No, but really, I feel okay. So I think that if we're gonna keep it to like a big movie, there are so many little stories you could tell with like you know, hunters and the healing church, like the tension between the church hunters and the normal hunters, the growing like tension and apprehension over beasts and what could happen in the lead up to the first cleric beasts occurring and stuff. You could even do a thing where, like, if people want to canonize it, you can canonize Ludwig having gone down and killed beheaded Lawrence after he became a beast, right? And bringing his head back up, right? You can make that a thing after, like, maybe showing, like, brief cameos of Lawrence, like, earlier on the film, maybe as, like, you know, giving meetings or talking, or as just one character among many, right? Like, there's just a lot of things you can do that can, I think, tell a really good story while definitely appeasing fans and stuff, both lore-heavy people and people would just be like, oh, cool, it's a thing I recognize, you know? Friday, my legs stop working and my village gets pillaged. Albinaurics, you have the best lives. You didn't see anything, chat. No, sorry about the slime students. No. It's okay. It's okay, Xavier. You were not. You were actually talking about the mini-series stuff because it's far funnier that way. They're kind of like Albinorics, I guess. They just don't. They don't even have the feet. That's the thing. It's like they completely skip the our feet are fading to just be like no feet. Period. They're all torso. It's okay, Chad. I can do this. Oh. Ow! That is disgusting. Well, I gotta add that to my analysis. I didn't realize that literally their ammunition comes from their fucking vomit. They're throwing their vomit at me. Like, that's just disgusting. Ow. 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 I'm partly excited for the BB movie just to hear how they'll choose to pronounce Odin. Yeah, I guess that might be interesting in case they decide to get creative with it, like Oedon, 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 Kabadon. That's all I hear. I'd be more interested to see how they I'd be more interested in seeing how they would handle like some of the smaller characters, like the Bigoted Man or Ariana or Adela and stuff like that. Like, are they gonna have some of them make cameos just for the heck of it? Let me take a look at this. What shots did we get? Well, that one's getting deleted. 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 Pockets. That's all I can think of. Pocket vomit. Yeah, no, it doesn't look really good. Okay. There we go. Oh, Dawn! Oh, damn! Oh, Donnie! Oh, Donnie? Smoke Donnie. Oh, my poor Willem folk. Things didn't go well for you either, huh, buddy? I've heard it's so many ways among Souls content creators. Odun, Udun, we done, Oidon. I mean, the JP is just Odon, or Odin, depending on how you want to interpret the last syllable, but like it's very obvious. It's supposed to just be ode, with a tacked onto the end. Because in JP you would say like odo. Woo. Oh man, there was so much potential there, chat. We could have gotten long arm John. Ah man, we had so much potential here, chat. I screwed it up. I screwed it up for everybody. I just say Odin. Yeah, I think that's pretty close to it. Damn. Is there a place we can better lighting? Here. Damn. No, we had it and we lost it. Ah! There we go. No, you had it. Oh. That was an interesting little animation. John Bloodborne is not going to know where he is as side characters give exposition to him. Yeah, I hope they don't reuse the memory loss thing. Like, that's already used for the game. Like, you don't need to do it again here. Damn. Uh-huh. Come on. Interesting. So that's how that animation looks from there. Go on, do it. No, you're too far now. I just want you in the lighting, man. I just want decent lighting. Speaking of Odin, did you know you can see what looks like the formless Odin rune on the building in one of the Reborn's cutscenes? It looks very intentional and has interesting lore implications. Let's go take a look at that building since we wanna chat about that. So we can go to Advent Plaza. Do you know which building in particular we're talking about here? I mean, it's been a while since I've looked at either of the two Odin runes, so I don't think I'd recognize it off the bat. I should probably level myself up with all these runes, but like... sorry, runes, echoes. I'm Elden Ring brained. I've been Elden brained. Because I'm not sure which building we would be talking about here. Yeah, there, go back a little. Unfortunately, yeah, there is not helping because there's a 30-second delay, guys, for the stream. So you guys are going to have to be more specific for me because you're not going to be able to react in time before I'm probably looking at something else. But if we're talking about this building here, I'm making the assumption. Face forward from the Mensis entrance from the lamp and look up. We mean the archway? Or are we talking about the actual, like, church building where Mikolash's body's inside of? Yeah, I'm not seeing if it's this way. I don't think it's this way, though. The 3 spires? Oh, so the top of this building here. All right, let me pull up the Odin runes, because I'll be honest, I'm not remembering exactly which one. One of them I vaguely recall, but let's see. Odin. Let me check the other one first, just to make sure. Okay. So let me show this for you guys so you guys can get a look. Is there a way for me to... Let me try to zoom in here for you guys. I think that made it worse. Whoops. There you go. So you can see here. And I'll be honest, I don't see it. This looks mighty coincidental to me. This looks like a Rorschach test to me. You see what you want to see type thing. Like, it just looks like typical type of spire things you would see in a... I'm not seeing it. Yeah, I'm just not seeing it. It does not seem intentional to me. Maybe if there was like an actual like archway something, because then it'd be like, okay, that's a little odd to have like a little like arch or something here with like the points sticking out. But if it's just like the pointers on the castle spire, it's like, nah. Again, it's just one of those things where I'm like, if you told me like, oh no, that seems intentional. Like, can I see it? Sure, I could, right? But as I was saying the other day to people, I was like, yeah, and I could like point to you and be like, hey guys, look, doesn't that look like a bunny in the clouds? It's like, okay, yeah, sure, I'm priming you to look at it that way. But like, if you told me just to like look at this or whatever, my first thought is that, oh, hey guys, that's the Formless Odin rune. Missing the America rune. Yeah, it's missing the America cross archway. It needs that little arc. Yeah, no, sorry, I'm gonna have to shoot that one down. I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't think there's any deep lore implications there regarding Odin or Yahar'gul. Again, I think Odin's one of those characters. Well, again, I should say that he probably has super small significance or anything, because I have my own thoughts on that. But he does feel kind of like the Velka of this game, where it'd be very easy to kind of inflate because of the mysterious and enigmatic nature of the character. But I really think the idea is just like Odin's probably just an exceptionally powerful Great One who has achieved the level where the form itself is blood, and the but like every Great One who is suffers from these same limitations, requires an excellent subject with which to potentially impregnate to produce a Great One child of his own. As we can see, he can't even stop us from killing that child before he can pick it up. Get wrecked, idiot. But yeah, I don't think outside of Odin Chapel and stuff, I don't think there's much there. I think it is interesting though how there's the idea of Odin seeming to have a position and stuff in the church, but not really going anywhere with it, right? Like Odin seems to just be able to just drive people at the chapel and stuff mad, and then they end up going absolutely batty when they can no longer talk to him because because of Rom. I don't know, there's something interesting there. I don't think anything for the film though. That's another thing. God, please keep Odin out of the Bloodborne film. Like, we don't need Odin. Like, Odin does not need to be involved with anything there. Like, let's just visit the chapel or something. Maybe show off some creepy people in the library or whatever and leave it at that, you know? There you go. Do I want to just skip to Nightmare? I'll at least look at the frontier. Make sure my memory is still good on this place. Ba, 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 ba. Coolio, there we go. There we go. Okay, cool, yeah. Got our favorite boats here. Did I aggro that guy by accident? No. Oh, there you are. There we go, our friend. There we are. Perfect. There we go. There we go. All right, let's get the flora totems out of the way. There we go. There we go. Ah! Well, only me, chat. Only I get myself killed in such an absolutely ridiculous manner. They do old Yarnum, but they have fauna at the center instead of flora. I'll be honest, if they did, if they brought back fauna for this film to tell like a story related to that in Mensis, I'd actually be I'd really be enthused about that. But yeah, it'd be funny if it'd be like, ah, yes, you see, the Red Moon was actually the work of this Great One Beast thing and had nothing to do with the Moon Presence, who's literally all about the moon. That would definitely be a choice. Give me back my echoes, dumbass. Give it back to me, side face. Yeah, good enough. I can always edit it. I can always edit it. Again, there's a lot of potential of avenues you can do as long as you keep it within the narrow scope. It's not as wide and expansive as Elden Ring in terms of narrative potential, but there's still something there you can work with. And so it gives you a lot of freedom. Okay, cool. So we can... Wait. No, delete that. I don't want to favorite that. Why would I want to favorite that? Yeah, there we go. I love my flora. I love my flora. Gonna have to crop that one to make it work, I feel. There we go. Again, nice thing about 4K shots, you can crop them to 1080p and they still look pretty good, so... Still look pretty good. Loran has been a problem to string together though, because I have all the individual sections that's just like, okay, how do I make this together so it makes sense and I can explain it in this exact order I want? It's surprisingly difficult. It has been a little bit of a head scratcher, that one. Bit of a shame, you know? There we go. Hey, Nightmare. Always good to see you. Imagine that stupid brain could catch us from all the way over here. Oh my god, I'd be like, why is there a glowing tower over there? Why is it making noises? 4K and 1080p scale well together in both directions. Yeah, as long as you like have like by default like the good quality there, they work pretty well. I think what I like most about 4K is when you're able to be able to crop and rotate with stuff, so that way you can make something into a bit more of an angle and things. That's always fun. Yeah, but unfortunately I'm just in a very rough spot here with having to decide. Is it true that we're gonna have a Bloodborne movie? Yep. Jacksepticeye has officially confirmed. It's not, you know, false report or a misunderstanding or anything. Yep, that's happening. It is in fact a thing. Now, should it be a thing? We'll let you decide. But it's happening. That's just the reality of it. I'm hopeful. I'm cautiously optimistic. Please don't screw this up. Or the King in Yellow reference, great one. I'll be honest, the fact we don't really get a King in Yellow reference in the game is kind of sad. Like, I think the closest we get is probably, like, it has to be, what's his face? The hunter guy, right? Who dresses in, like, the yellow lightning resistant, attire. Oh, his name is slipping my mind. But yeah, like, he's probably the closest we'll ever get. Unless we get a sequel. King of Yellow, main antagonist. We bring back the old monk. I'm just saying. Give us a Prison of Hope section. Henrique, that's what it was. I saw the translation thing and I was like, oh, is this like the JP name? No, it's they literally just took Henrique and they turned it to Henry. Oh god, I can see this translation thing going too far and it's just translating like a bunch of stuff that would otherwise be sensible into gibberish. I can already see it happening, chat. There we go. Like, why would you translate someone's name though? Like, yeah, now that I think about it, like, why are they even doing that? Like, what a bizarre choice. It's disgusting. There we go. There we go. There we are. They kind of have the floral look on the like they kind of got it for some of these gravestones here, right? Like stylistically, it does resemble. Oh, it's not here. It's up, up and away. I mean, there's kind of a hole in the center, kind of, but it's not exactly the same style. It's close, though. I think you can say it's stylistically the same, because you kind of see the 3 dots here, right? You can see the little curve on the body at the there. So yeah, I think it's close enough. I think it's close enough for a resemblance, you know? Uh-huh. There we go. There we go. I guess you can also have Moon Presence be a major antagonist if you want to do the era when like the Hunter's Dream and stuff gets created. Oh, that's another question. Is like, are they gonna like try to invoke the Hunter's Dream for the immortality angle, and so they can have the doll and stuff like that for the fan service? I could see that being a thing where it's like, okay, you know, we have to do this era because that's when we'll have the doll. I don't know. I would like it if they kind of restrain themselves and not have the doll. Like, hell, give people Maria if we must. But like, I don't know. I feel like I don't want us to be able to see the level up lady. There we go. I do love how we have like the many-eyed abominations and the amygdala little things at the top there. I love it. So many totems here. Let's get the... Where is a good... I guess this... Huh. In that case, I guess the best look would probably be from this angle. Yeah, okay, cool. Are many totems... There we are. All right. With that, I think I'm done, chat. I think I've covered all the stuff I wanted to cover. I wasn't sure if I had enough shots or good enough shots for this specific stuff regarding the nightmare and everything. There we are. Yeah, cool. And then here we go. Nightmare Frontier, one of my favorite levels, looks very alien. Yeah, I like the style they went with for the gravestones and everything here for sure. Good old Loran. Ah, I love it when she's quiet, chat. No attribute selected. I guess I was doing strength at this point. I mean, I don't remember what the hell my build was, chat, if I'm being real. I guess it's a point. We'll just see. We'll see what I can add. Yeah, okay. So based on what we got today, I'm feeling pretty confident and stuff. Like I said, though, Loran's been a bit of a pain to kind of string together just to make all the stuff make sense or whatever. But you know, that's a me problem, not a you problem. And I'm looking forward to when Loran is done, because it's like, yeah, I got all the Chalice dungeons finally covered, and then I can finally focus on like the small stuff or the cosmology stuff. Yeah, I think screenshot wise, we may do more screens for like Loran dungeons if I want to just kind of explore, see if there's any like interesting little setups that From Software has in any of these Loran spawns that I want to cover. I'm not really looking forward to it though, because Loran's kind of boring in terms of like what it's got overall. So unless there's something like really interesting, I don't know how I'm feeling about that. But again, that'll be for the future. We'll see. We'll see. Again, I'm hopeful for the Bloodborne movie. I'm hopeful, cautiously optimistic. You know, skeptical reflexively, but hopeful, praying that it's going to succeed and become this really great thing, because hey, we deserve to have more of it. Because much like the Sekiro film or anything that might happen with Dark Souls or whatever in the future, or Demon Souls or what have you, you know, I think From Software having multimedia stuff that they can dip into, you know, is just good overall. Helps with brand, gives them a chance where they don't have to be constantly worrying about coming out with games in order to tell different stories or stuff with the IP for fans of those titles. And you know, just in general, lets Miyazaki and crew be able to focus on making the good games that they're known for. So hey, yeah, let's hope that let's hope against hope that this will in fact all work out. I don't know if it will, but we'll see. We'll see. Please don't steer us wrong, Jacksepticeye. I'm begging you. But until then, chat, later.